All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, obviously, we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, their free agency has been highlighted by the pickups of Christian Wilkins and quarterback Gardner Minshew. And when it first happened, I was a little bit confused with the Gardner. I was a little bit more upset because I felt like that was kind of an indication that they weren't going to trade up and try to select a player like Jaden Daniels with pick number 2, pick number 3. I guess that was always kind of a long shot, but then we saw a report like a day later that just because they picked up Gardner Minshew doesn't necessarily mean that they will not trade up for Jaden Daniels, and Tom Telesco is still making calls. So you currently have Aiden O'Connell, who threw for 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in his final month of his rookie season. And then you also have Gardner Minshew, and those are your two quarterbacks as it stands right now. In yesterday's video, we were kind of talking about, some players getting drafted. And I'm looking at Michael Penix Jr. at pick number 13. And I know Raiders fans are kind of, I understand it because I do like what Aiden O'Connell showed me. I do like Gardner Minshew as a bridge quarterback. But at the end of the day, Gardner Minshew being the starting quarterback for all 17 games with the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season, it doesn't really get me going. So if you were to draft any type of wide receiver, they're going to battle it out with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. So I figured my thought process, obviously, as you guys know, is drafting Michael Penix Jr. at pick number 13. Even if he doesn't start, even if he doesn't win it out in camp and you run it with Aiden O'Connell and or Gardner Minshew this upcoming season, I still think long-term that is very beneficial. But we're going to go look at a couple of mock drafts in the first round specifically that your quote-unquote analysts and scouts and the draft dudes are talking about. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content along with daily Raiders videos. Raiders fans, love you guys as always. If we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So Daniel Jeremiah is my favorite because he always has Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington, going to Las Vegas at pick number 13. And here is his analyst. There's an assumption that Penix is more of a second rounder, but I believe his skill set is a unique fit for the Raiders' style of play. Folks, Michael Penix can sling it. I know there's some injury concerns there, but at the end of the day, what I do think Penix gives you, outside of Jaden Daniels, but when we compare him to Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, I think he gives you big playability. And the thing is, especially with the pickup of Gardner Minshew, like the concern would be if you draft Michael Penix Jr. and he beats out Aiden O'Connell in camp, well, his rookie season might be shaky, or any rookie quarterback's rookie season might be a little bit shaky because you still have Devontae Adams and you still have Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker and Michael Mayer, and now you got Alexander Mattison to pair up with Zamir White. I still think they're probably going to draft a wide receiver because it's such a great wide receiver draft. You still need, an offensive tackle. You still need a cornerback. Like the Raiders have holes. They need more fillings across their roster. But at the end of the day, their roster is still pretty solid. I just like the idea of drafting Michael Penix and then just kind of going through in camp thinking that it's either going to be him or Aiden O'Connell this upcoming season. Mel Kiper Jr. has got the offensive tackle out of Alabama. His analysis was Latham started 27 games at the college position, surrendering just 2 sacks and 16 total pressures. He can also dominate in the run game with his 6'6", 342-pound body. Offensive tackle, at the end of the day, if I had to guess what Tom Telesco is going to do, I would probably guess it's going to be an offensive tackle or a cornerback. Offensive tackles, any offensive lineman, whenever you draft them, especially in the first round, it's a little bit underwhelming. But then when they get into the NFL and they start doing their thing for several seasons, that's when it pays off. So, I would not be upset if they draft an offensive tackle, especially out of Bama and JC. But, it is a little bit underwhelming as opposed to a guy like Jaden Daniels. All right. Ryan Wilson, CBS Sports. His pick is Quinyon Mitchell, cornerback out of Toledo at pick number 13. And then Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington via a mock trade for the 49ers pick 31. This is one of my favorite ideas that the Raiders could do, is trading up in either the early second round or the late first round to select their guy. If Michael Penix Jr. is falling and It's crazy because if we go back like 1 month ago, Michael Penix Jr. was, like around the championship game in college football. Michael Penix Jr. was like a top 10 pick. And then once that game ended and they ended up not winning it, and just like a month has passed, you're starting to see Michael Penix Jr. be like kind of this mid/early second round pick. I like drafting him at the end of the first if you don't take him at 13. And the reason is because I don't want another team to get him. We always say it on this channel, Tom Telesco's thinking it himself. If you got a guy, you got to go up and make a move to get him. So I really like that because you address two needs. You are getting a cornerback one. Mitchell had a phenomenal 2023 season. He had a phenomenal Senior Bowl game. He had a phenomenal NFL Combine. And then you also get the best deep ball threat in the college football class in Michael Penix Jr. That is absolutely my favorite. Let's see if we got any more. Nate Davis has the cornerback that we just mentioned. Trevor Sakima has Terrion Arnold, the cornerback out of Alabama. Let's see what his analysis is. The Raiders should be aggressive in trading up for a quarterback, but with no deal done here, they attack a major area of need by selecting a potential quarterback one in Arnold. Marcus Mosher's got the same guy, offensive tackle. All right, so it seems like, it keeps going. Offensive tackle. So it seems like most people, the NFL draft scouts, analysts, whatever the word is, seems like they have the Raiders either selecting an offensive lineman, a cornerback, or a quarterback. And I think most Raiders fans would agree those are the biggest 3 points of need. So we are about a month away from the NFL draft, a little over a month away at the time of this recording. And I'm curious what the narrative is going to be as we inch closer and closer, because it seemed like, for me specifically, just judge it from comments and videos and that type of thing, when the Raiders first signed Gardner Minshew, it was kind of depressing, or not depressing, but it was underwhelming, right? And then like a day or two later, I'm starting to think to myself, ooh, I really like that as being this bridge QB, being this veteran quarterback, being this veteran voice in the locker room. And then like a week passes from his signing and it still just feels as underwhelming as when they first picked him up. And it's like, all right, he'd be a nice kind of guy to have back there as QB3, QB2 if needed. But ideally, you're either going to run with Aiden O'Connell, Michael Penix, or hopefully Jaden Daniels. So I'm curious where my Raiders fans watching this video right now stand, especially if you're also not a Raiders fan. Let me know what you think the Raiders should do. That's about it for today, man. We make daily Raiders videos on this channel, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for all the love, all the support, especially in the last week and a half in free agency. I still, Vegas still has some money to spend. I still think you're going to see a sneaky signing or two. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that. Let me know who you're drafting at pick 13, and let me know any free agent moves you would be making right now if you were Tom Telesco. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We will see you soon.